ਧੰਨ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਹੁਕਮੀ ਹੋਵਨ ਆਕਾਰ, ਹੁਕਮ ਨਾ ਕਹਿਆ ਜਾਈ। ਹੁਕਮੀ ਹੋਵਨ ਜੀ, ਹੁਕਮ ਮਿਲੈ ਵਡਿਆਈ। ਹੁਕਮੀ ਉਤਮ ਨੀਚ, ਹੁਕਮ ਲਿਖ ਦੁਖ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਈਐ। ਇਕ ਨਾ ਹੁਕਮੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੀਸ਼, ਇਕ ਹੁਕਮੀ ਸਦਾ ਪਵਾਈਐ। ਹੁਕਮੈ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਭ ਕੋ, ਬਾਹਰ ਹੁਕਮ ਨਾ ਕੋਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਹੁਕਮੈ ਜੇ ਬੁਝੈ, ਤਾਂ ਹਉਮੈ ਕਹੈ ਨਾ ਕੋਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਹੁਕਮੈ ਜੇ ਬੁਝੈ, ਤਾਂ ਹਉਮੈ ਕਹੈ ਨਾ ਕੋਏ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Beloved Sangat Ji, as we delve into the last Pauri, Guruji instructed us to be truthful. To be truthful, we must be pure and immaculate, and we must follow his command. But what is hukam? How do we accept and understand his command? If everything happens under his command, then why do people suffer? Some are very poor, some are royals, some are healthy, and some are suffering from chronic disease. As Guruji explained, we have built a wall between us and our God. We are separated from our Lord Master. What is the wall? We have already discussed in previous Pauri. The wall of falsehood. Because of our bad deeds, corruption, lust, anger, greed, unnecessary attachment, and egotism, the wall has been built, and it is increasing day by day. When Guru Sahib taught us, he used a good technique to teach us. The way Guru taught us is amazing. Firstly, Guru talks about famous rituals and what is happening in the world, explaining how people relate to items. Sometimes the disadvantages of human actions are also explained. So individuals understand that they may perform a ritual but not gain anything and instead face loss. People then ask Guru, what should I do? The main idea of the Shabad is in the last line, which tells us what we need to do and what Sikhs should do. Sometimes it is written in only one line. There are many other Shabads explaining that it has happened or is currently happening. We need to understand that when the Guru gives us examples in the Shabad, in ending lines, guide us what to do. In today's Pauri, the Guru wants to teach us that as humans, we have an ego inside us. We are full of ego, which is invisible. It is very dangerous and we need to know how to save ourselves from it. We can save ourselves if we understand what ego is. If a person can't analyze the disease, then why would they go to the doctor? Which medicine will they take? Some people are different even when they know the disease is killing them, but still they don't go to the doctor or take any medication. They just ignore it and say that I don't take medicine. They are more dangerous. What is ego? The Guru says that ego is a chronic disease, but it contains its own cure as well. If we understand the disease, then we can find the cure for it. Today, the Guru is teaching us, and the center point is that we need to understand the ego and save ourselves from it. We always talk about the ego, saying things like, I did this, it is mine, and my past life. Let us look at ourselves and where we are entangled in this ego. Guruji saying that all shapes and bodies are created according to his command, and his hukam can't be described. He states that all birds, animals, spaces, oceans, air and water have shapes that are made by his command. And this command can't be described. All plants, trees, oceans, leaves, flowers, fruit and everything else are also made by his command. Guruji says that if someone tries to describe his command through their intellect, it can't be done. He mentions in this Pauri the first line, Hukmi hovan akar, hukam na kahiya jai, which means that this command can't be described and humans can't comprehend it. If people try to find limits of God's command, they are like people showing light to the sun. And the Guru warns that this could make them lose their sight. The Guru says that everything is made by his command, but his hukam can't be described. This command can't be described. Guru Sahib says the hukam, his command, can't be described. If we only talk about the human body, our eyes see everything and store it in our minds. Our nose has a sense of smell and can detect odors both good and bad. Our tongue tastes many edible things and remembers their flavors. We have many other body parts that develop in our bodies. Moreover, the human body has electricity to pump our hearts, produce heat and send electrical messages from the brain to body parts. We can't even find the limits of human body. How we can find the limit of that Lord who has created this law of nature to produce humans and everything else? The saints, pujaris and religious scholars have confused us with the concept of God in order to support their businesses under the guise of religion. Many religions preach that reciting God's name brings him happiness. Donating to charity pleases him. And visiting religious sites also brings him pleasure. They claim that if we don't do any of these things, God becomes unhappy. They manipulate our minds and we become slaves to them. We turn to them for everything. And they give us fear of hell and the greed of heaven. We need to understand the laws of nature as much as possible and learn whatever is necessary for us to do so. However, we must also understand that we can't control or exceed the limits of nature's power. We can't find the limits of its command. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji said, Hukmi hovan akar, hukam na kahiya jai, which means that everything in existence exists by his command, from the sun, moon, stars, galaxy, air, water, fire, and even the ocean remains in one place without any boundaries or walls with his natural law. Guruji also said that he created the air and supports the entire world. He united water and fire together. Guru Nanak Pasha Ji says, Paun upaye tari sab dharti, jal agni ka band kiya. As per his command, the air is created and the earth is floating in space along with other planets, completing its rotation around the sun. Guruji also adds that his command can't be expressed in words. When was it made? How was it made? What elements were used to make it? It can't be fully described. If someone were trying to comprehend its vastness, they would be destroyed. However, this vastness still can't be fully described. Guruji speaks about the law of nature and states that everyone is subject to his command and no one is outside of it. Our people misunderstand these lines and believe that any sin committed is also under his command and written in their destiny, thus blaming the Lord for their actions. We will get the answer in next lines. Hukmi hovan ji, hukum milai vadiyai. However, Guruji also states the souls come into being and greatness is obtained through his command. We must understand and consider what is good or bad for ourselves and understand the law of nature in order to determine how to attain honor and avoid dishonor. Even those who receive honor or dishonor also according to his hukam. It doesn't mean that Guru wanted to give one person honor or dishonor. The analogy is made with a country's legislations where citizens who follow the law are respected, while those who break it and end up in prison and considered down in society. Similarly, those who follow the Guru's command become good people and those who don't become down. The question often arises that if everything is in God's command, then why do people commit crimes? It is a very common question. Why do people commit crimes? Guru's answer is that everything happens under his command, but it doesn't absolve people of their responsibility. For example, if someone commits murder, they can't say that they are not responsible since it was in God's command. We must understand the Bani properly to understand these lines and avoid confusion. Guruji said that his command is the same for everyone and nothing is beyond his control. As a teacher with two students, one of the students is very nice and follows all the commands given by the teacher, making them a good student. They become elevated. On the other hand, the second student doesn't follow the commands, becomes a lower student, a downgraded bad student. Both make their own choices. The teacher doesn't classify one as higher or lower. It is up to them. Whoever accepts the teacher's command is considered higher, and those who don't are considered lower. This is what Guruji teaches us. Those who follow his commands become elevated, while those who don't become lower. As Bani says, Jeha bija so lune karma sandada khed. As he has planted, so does he harvest. Such is the field of karma. The lower student can't blame the teacher, as he is in the lower position due to his actions. As Bani states, Dadda dosh na deo kisai, dosh karma apneya, jo main kiya so main paya, dosh na dijai avarjana. Don't blame anyone else. Blame instead your own actions. Whatever I did for that, I have suffered. I don't blame anyone else. The other student who has become higher followed the command of his teacher and fulfilled all the requirements that were expected of him. Now both students are in their respective positions due to their actions. The student who followed the commands of his teacher is at peace and has obtained sukh, while the other student who didn't follow the commands of his teacher is suffering in his life. Whoever follows the commands of his teacher will obtain peace of mind. What Guru Sahib is saying, Hukmi likh dukh sukh paiye. Hukam likh. What does it mean? Where do I need to write this hukam? Inside me. This means that I should understand his command. If I do good deeds, then the results will be good and vice versa. If someone says that they are consuming drugs and it is under his command, then it is true. However, when their kidneys and liver get damaged, it will also be under his command. Another example, it is also true that many people bring prohibited articles into restricted places and it is under his command. But when they will get arrested and are in prison, it will also be under his command. If someone takes a step in the wrong direction under his command, that person will face the results also under his command. Hukam likh dukh sukh paiye. Whoever follows the command of his guru becomes higher and the other one becomes lower. Now one student receives honors, good marks, a degree certificate, while the other student is struggling with a recheck of his exams and must resit them. The first student didn't ask for good marks from the teacher and instead achieved them through dedicated study. He received everything as a blessing and a reward for his hard work. On the other hand, the second student was unsuccessful in his exams and had to retake them, waiting throughout the whole year. It is important to understand why he was unsuccessful. The teacher didn't make him fail, but rather it was his own actions that caused his failure. It is important to note that while external circumstances or influences may exist, ultimately individuals have control over their own actions and choices. Their successes and failures can be attributed to their own efforts, decisions, and attitude towards their goals. Whatever you do, you get the results and you can't blame others. It is very common question, everything under his command. Let me provide you another example. Imagine two employees working for the same company. Employee A has been with the company for years but consistently displays a lack of dedication, poor work ethic, and disregard for company policies. They frequently engage in unethical behavior such as stealing office supplies or taking credit for other people's work. On the other hand, employee B is a new hire who diligently follows company's protocols, performs their tasks with enthusiasm and efficiency, and consistently demonstrates professionalism and integrity. They actively contribute to a positive work environment and are respected by their peers for their ethical conduct. In this scenario, employee A's behavior can't be blamed on the company or its policies. The company provides a set of guidelines and expectations for all employees, but it is the individual's choice whether to adhere to them or engage in misconduct. Employee A's actions reflect their personal character and decisions, and they bear the responsibility for their behavior. Conversely, employee B's conduct showcases the positive attributes of a model employee. They exemplify how an individual can align themselves with the company's values, follow the rules, and contribute to a productive and harmonious work environment. In both examples, the actions and choices of the individuals shape their perceptions as citizens or employees. While one person's behavior may tarnish their own reputation, it is important to recognize that the actions of new individuals don't define an entire group or organization. Each person has the power to determine their own path and contribute positively or negatively to the collective whole. We are discussing how to be truthful. Guruji instructed us to follow his command, and we are trying to understand his hukum, his directive. To elevate ourselves, we must obey the directive. Gurbani teaches us how to struggle and fight against our internal vices, such as lust, anger, greed, unnecessary attachment, and egotism. All these vices reside within us humans, and thus it has been written in the Bani that, O Lord, he is in love with ignorance. His lamp of clear wisdom has grown dim. The dimming of the lamp of wisdom implies that our intellect has been polluted and we can't comprehend your directive. Malan pai mat madava teri gat lakhi na jaye. Therefore, our lives remain wasted and we are impure. Just as a driver needs to clean the windscreen to see clearly, we often need to clear our minds from distractions and negative influences to gain clarity and see things more clearly. When our minds are cluttered with passions and deceptions, it can be challenging to perceive the goodness and light of God in others. Taking time for self-reflection, practicing mindfulness, and seeking guidance from a guru can help untangle our thoughts and enable us to see the world with greater clarity and compassion. God is in everyone, but can't be seen because of our bad deeds. As Gurbani states, Aval Allah Noor Phaya Kudrat ke sab bande. First Allah, the God Master, created the light. Then by his creative power, he made all mortal beings. Ek noor te sab jag upajya kon phale ko mande. From the one light, the entire universe welled up. So who is good and who is bad? Those who don't recognize the light of God are suffering. By his command, they wander aimlessly forever. As Guruji Singh, ek hukmi sada pavaiyan. Bani says, Karni kagad man maswani bura pala doye lekh paye. Actions are the paper and the mind is ink. Good and bad are both recorded upon it. Our actions leave lasting imprints on our minds, just like ink on paper. Good and bad deeds shape our mental state. We have the power to choose positive actions, transforming our minds for the better. Certainly, the analogy of actions being the paper and the mind being the ink suggests that our thoughts, intentions, and actions leave lasting imprints on our minds, just as ink permeates and leaves its mark on a sheet of paper. Our experiences and choices shape the state of our minds. Each action, whether good or bad, influences our perceptions, attitudes, and overall mental state. Positive actions contribute to a sense of fulfillment, contentment, and inner peace, while negative actions can bring about guilt, regret, and turmoil. We are currently delving into the first Bani of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. We have been reading it every day but have never fully understood it. Whether you can understand only one Shabad or note, it is still enough. Reciting the Bani numerous times will not lead to any achievements unless you understand and implement its teachings. Bani states, Kya padiye, kya guniye. What use is to read and what use is to study. Kya Ved Purana suniye. What use is to listen to the Vedas and the Purans. Pade sune kya hui, jo sahaj na milyo soi. What use is reading and listening if celestial peace is not obtained? Pade sune kya hui, jo sahaj na milyo soi. Guru has given very simple examples. We have understood the Mool mantra, the slok and the first pauri, and currently discussing the second pauri of Japji Sahib. The Guru told us that we need to be truthful and asked what barriers prevent us from being truthful. Then the Guru Padshah explained that we need to follow his command and described it in the next pauri that we are delving into today. Hukmi hovan akar, hukam na kahiya jai. By his command, bodies are created. His command can't be described. Hukam na kahiya jai. Another reference from Guru Granth Sahib, Tu sagaro ratnagaro haun sar na jana teri Ram. You are the ocean, the source of jewels. I don't know your value, Lord. Sar na jana, tu vadadana kar mehramat sai. I don't know your value. You are the wisest of all. Please show mercy unto me, O Lord. Many came to this world to describe his command. But Guru Sahib is saying, Hukam na kahiya jai. The command can't be described. What should I do then? We need to understand the command instead of describing the command. In the next line, Guru Pasha is saying, Hukmi hovan ji, hukam milay vadiyai. By his command, souls come into being. By his command, glory and greatness are obtained. Imagine a person who has a passion for music and decide to attend a concert by a renowned tabla player. After the concert, they approach the tabla player and express their desire to learn everything about playing the tabla, same level as the tabla player. However, the tabla player has dedicated years of practice, study, and honing their skills to reach that level of mastery. While the person's enthusiasm for learning is admirable, it is unrealistic to expect to achieve the same level of expertise in a short period of time. Mastery of any complex skill, whether it is playing an instrument, painting, or any other discipline requires consistent effort, dedication, and practice over an extended period. The tabla player can certainly offer guidance, share insights, and provide resources to support the person's learning journey. However, becoming a master tabla player like the performer requires a long-term commitment and gradual progression of skills and knowledge. Similarly, in various fields, expertise is attained through years of specialized education, training, and experience. While we can always strive to learn and improve our understanding, it is important to recognize that acquiring true mastery often requires significant time and effort. Your aim is to be truthful in order to understand the hukam and accept the command. Don't waste your life trying to find the limits of his command, of his hukam. The Guru has said that many people have come and gone in the world, attempting to find the limits of the infinite Lord. Bring virtues into your life, as we say it was written in our destiny. Whatever happens, what student want to be after study is their own decision. We need to live and come out of this story. Whatever is written happens. Stick with your words if you have same beliefs. If someone burns your house and harms your family, then you should hesitate to lodge a police complaint, because it was written in your destiny to suffer at others' hands. But we do run to the police stations when someone steals anything from our house. There are many stories preached in our societies. When someone young dies in a road accident, we say it was written in their destiny. Instead of looking for reasons like drunk driving or reckless driving, poor roads, no road signs or warnings, the 10th Guru didn't join his 4 sons' funeral. Was it because of his bad deeds? Was it written in his destiny? Let's talk about the Banda Singh Bahadur. Banda Singh Bahadur's son's heart was put into Banda Singh's mouth. Was it because of his bad deeds? What about the Guru Arjan Dev Ji, who was tortured and murdered? Was it written in his destiny? Then whatever happened in 94 during the attack of Harmandir Sahib, you mention those names, we talk about those people, they are all free and can say that it was written in their karma. We need to jump out of the boundaries that were made by the Brahmins. Gurbani is teaching us to learn to live our lives here in this world that we are residing in. When we change our thoughts, we are at peace. Pains are not born with us, they start from our thinking. If your mind is not under your control, you will suffer in your life. If your mind is in your control, you will be at peace. Next line, Guru Maharaj Ji saying, Nanak hukme je bujai, ta humme kahe na koi. O Nanak, one who understands his command doesn't speak in ego. When we understand and follow the law of nature, we become truthful. Performing good deeds is a way of being truthful. Guru Nanak Pasha stated that everything is God. Without God, there is nothing. Science says it is energy and religion says it is God. It has been said, everything is under God's command. Without His command, even a leaf can't move. With this explanation, what happens when a tragedy occurs, for instance, an accident, people often say it was God's command rather than finding the reasons for the accident and improving poor road surfaces, safety signs, and lights. It is effortless to blame God to hide our own shortcomings. In a nutshell, when we understand His command, we come to know that all living beings are created by His command. It is mandatory to understand His command, the law of nature, for those who want to live a fulfilling life, attain honor, good health, and have more or fewer children. Understanding the law of nature and fulfilling all its requirement is pivotal. Hukmi uttam neech hukam likh dukh sukh paiyeh. By His command, some are high and some are low. By His written command, pain and pleasure are obtained. Ik na hukmi bakshish ik hukmi sada pavaiyeh. Hukme andar sab ko bahar hukum na koe. Nanak hukme je bujai ta humme kahe na koe. We need to ask ourselves what is good for us and how we can live a life without fear. Additionally, we need to question how we can protect ourselves from disease. As time passes and we understand the law of nature, we learn how to decrease or increase our new generations. By comprehending the law of nature, which is command, we will attain honor. Hukam likh dukh sukh paiyeh. As per our understanding, we think that whoever has wealth, a big mansion, and a big car is considered higher. However, the same person may be suffering from pain, stress, disease, and many more obstacles in his real life. To truly become higher, we must understand and follow command of the law of nature. It is not only about getting honor in the materialistic world, but truly accepting and following the law of nature. If we don't do so, we will continue to suffer from pain, stress, and chronic disease throughout our entire lives without finding any peace. To achieve greatness, we have to understand the laws of nature and learn about the cause and precautions of disease in order to cure them. If we want to be higher or lower, it is also under His command. Whatever comes in our life, joy or sorrow, for instance, if our diet is not good, our living habits are not good, and we are just accusing our Lord, saying, "You gave me these problems, disease." If God does everything, why don't you lay down and don't make any effort to feed yourself? Your God will feed you. We need to understand His command. How sorrow and joy come into our lives. As per the law of nature, if you don't look after your health, you will definitely suffer from chronic disease. By understanding and implementing His command, we can be truthful. When we understand His hukam, then our ego is renounced. An individual can't claim that they are closer to God, or that they are God, or that they know everything about God. The devotees say that His vastness can't be described. I hope that we all are understanding the meaning of Japji Sahib. If you are learning from my explanation, then encourage others to listen to this vichar. Let's embrace the humility of knowing that the divine is beyond our comprehension and continually seek a deeper understanding of the divine commandments. May the blessings of Vaheguru accompany us on our spiritual journey, guiding us towards a life lived in accordance with His teachings. Apology for my mistakes. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.